Hey, what's up guys? It's Monday here at the Oldbarn Homestead. I got packages going out to a whole bunch of people, waiting on one or two people to give me their addresses, and then I'll be going and getting that stuff shipped. I wanted to start a long-term effects kind of tracker here of our some of the work that we do, and you know, because it's not like technically by the book doing this clear coat over bare metal and candy and clear over bare metal. It is cool that it gives you all the, you know, the effects and everything, but it's not really recommended. And you know, it's supposed to, all these materials are supposed to go over a primer that's meant to stick to bare metal, either epoxy or etch. Now these stars are a couple of the original ones I cut, and they have some various little issues, and this wasn't prepped very well before I cleared it, and it already has a little rust underneath it. So this will be a good candidate on the clear over bare metal and the candy as well. We'll have this video as a reference we can come back and compare it to, and I'm just going to put them right there at the corner of the building because in the evening the sun really comes in at an angle and just bangs and beats on this this corner of the building, so we'll be able to, you know, get some effect of it, and some rain and whatever. Now the backs are not painted on this, so that's definitely gonna rust. And I can see the very top corner right there has also doesn't have any clear on it for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but anyway, so that's that. Got stuff being shipped out. And these guys don't watch this video, but I've got two signs here that I'm going to be painting this week. I've got this one going out for Hal, but I got to get his address, so I don't have it loaded up yet. I'll take it in a day or two once I get his address from him. So I'll be painting those one night this week, and I am working on a video here. I had, you know, just kind of in between projects, and I'm not quite ready to start a project or two, so I was cutting these coupons. I was gonna make a MIG welding video with just an idea I had that I think would be helpful to people and may help the video get a lot of views. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but we're gonna make it real quick. This is one of our little specimens, something I MIG welded up a while back. I had today's Sunday. I had a visitor yesterday that came from San Antonio, and let me show you what he brought me. He had brought me this this 1/8 inch Texas star sign. It's really cool, and again, this is going to be my wall of stuff, you know, stickers and plaques or anything any of my viewers send me. And so far we got Shut Your Face Garage and the Cobra Fanatic, Billy there, and we got this from Patrick in San Antonio. And Patrick just subscribed to me like about a week or two ago, and he saw some of the plasma cutting videos, and what was funny is he was unhappy with the cut edges he was getting, you know, like on the stars you can see, you know, just some random imperfections in the edges, and he didn't like that it didn't come down to a sharp point. So you know, he wanted to see, you know, he's seen the videos and was impressed with the work that we've been doing, and wanted to come and see, you know, how we're getting some of these edges. And what's ironic about it is how much I've struggled with getting the cut edges to look right, and you know, how I want them to, and at the quality that I want them to. And you know, his on certain certain areas, his are actually smoother than mine. And he has a Burn Tables table, which is a company that's pretty big. I think they sell quite a few tables out there. That one's got a few ridges in it on 1/8 inch, and my 1/8 inch cuts come out to be, they have some of the worst striations on the edges of the materials I cut. Sheet metal doesn't, you don't see it as much, and then the thicker materials you don't see it as much, but but that you do. But anyway, I was, you know, he uses sheet cam, which is what we use here, and I was walking him through using the different layers in sheet cam and setting up separate tool paths and being able to use a command called feed rate that puts a variable in the G code that changes the feed rate based on the layer that you're cutting. And, you know, so anyway, he didn't realize that you could do that. And, you know, with the first couple of things I cut, I didn't know that either. After a little while of getting rounded out edges and various things I wasn't happy with, I started looking into it more and discovering that. And the bottom line is, if you have fine detail on things, like, let's say, for example, the inside, like that right there, if you cut that, let's say this is 16 gauge sheet metal, and the stats in the book, I'll show you it real quick. Here is, this is for mild steel, the fine cut consumables chart. So if we come down here and look at 16 gauge, and we go across, it says we can cut 16 gauge at 250 inches per minute. All right, so if you go over here in Mach 3, and on the feed rate for plasma, set that to 250 inches a minute, it'll cut it. There's no question about it. If you run that on a straight line, it'll zip right across there and buzz off at 220 inches a minute, not a problem. But on something like this, you can't cut that at 220 inches a minute. For one thing, the machine has some, you know, anti-diving and some other things that when it goes into corners, it automatically slows down a little bit, but still not enough. What it'll do is it'll just make a circle, and instead of squaring out the edges, you know, you'll get that would just be an oval instead of having somewhat squared edges. That actually probably ran a little, and you can see when you run something really slow, you get a lot more heat affected zone around it. You see all that around it versus like this has almost none, where I ran it a lot faster. So I just did a little 1.5 inch square, and I put a program in there, and I had a feed rate selection to run this at 50% and to run this at full speed, and that cut at 240 inches a minute, and that cut at half of that, or I think actually 40% of it. The exact same program, just cutting two of them and having the feed rate variable in, and you can see what a difference it makes, you know, and how, you know, if you want to have the integrity of what you're trying to cut to look accurate. So that was quite illuminating for him. Now this guy's a graphic artist. He does Illustrator stuff, and he does metalwork in his garage on the weekends and when he has spare time. And he's got a little 4x4 burn tables, which I think are good tables. And he was thinking maybe something was wrong with his table, and he just, you know, he's like everybody. He wants stuff to be as nice as he can, and he was really concerned about the stars not having points on them, you know, and basically, and he doesn't use fine cut consumables because burn tables told him not to use them. And I told him, I can see why they would tell you that and tell their customers not to use fine cut consumables, because honestly, they're a pain in the butt. But when they work, they leave a really nice cut, you know, and you just have to know if you're going to use them you're going to have to just deal with it, you know, and you're going to have some issues with it. So anyway, this is the fine cut consumables pack, and I gave him one of these, and it's an unshielded consumable, so you have to run this different style retainer instead of the shielded one that you use for the regular ones. But anyway, so Patrick, if you're watching this, man, thanks for coming and visiting, and thanks for bringing me that. And you know, we spent a couple hours here, and I think that helped him out. So that was good. And he drove 10 hours, guys. Get this. He drove 10 hours round trip to come up here just to see the shop, and he just subscribed about a week ago. So super nice guy, you know, seems to have some good things going for himself, and hopefully you made it worth his while, and definitely appreciate him bringing the sign and that. So anyway, just kind of giving you guys a heads up on what I got going on. If anybody needs anything or wants me to make a sign, let me know what that is. I'll be happy to jump on it. I'm still, you know, I still got things in the works I need to process out, and Rooster on the Harley Davidson signs has given me yet another order for some Harley Davidson signs, and or at least we're talking about it. So we'll see if he's ready to do that. I don't know what I would do if it was not for you guys helping me out and giving me projects to do. I definitely have other work and other projects coming in, which is good, but and it all works, you know, the combination of you guys and the things that I'm doing for you. Oh, let me show you this. And this is Owl's sign, but let me see. I had some foam blocks out here. I'll just put one on it for now. I think this will serve the purpose. If anybody is interested in a shop logo or a shop sign and also likes the flags, I want to come up with a way to take a shop logo or a family crest or, you know, something like that, and have that stood off from a flag, so that you get the flag and all of its coolness and the patriotic nature of it, but it's also kind of custom, you know, to what you do, because I'm not the only one that makes these flags. And by the way, some guys will occasionally send me an email showing me somebody else's video with a flag. This is not my design. This is something that you can get this on Plasma Spider, which is a file sharing site for people that have plasma cutters. And so lots of people make those flags. I think my differentiation is the candy paint jobs and just, you know, how nice they come out. And there's other people that paint them that nice as well. But I'm just saying that your average guys that are cutting these aren't doing that. A lot of them will powder coat them, and you can't get this kind of high gloss finish with powder coat. You can get a nice finish, but it just, you know, you just don't get this kind of finish with powder coat. So if anybody's interested in something like that, a flag with a you know, with a shop logo or something, and if it's a fairly simple design like this, what you'd be looking at is $175 for the flag, and you'd be probably looking at about $75 to just cut and clear coat a you know, a family crest, but it can't be some really elaborate piece of artwork, because trying to digitize that is almost impossible. A lot of family crests and things have, you know, all these lines, and the machine just won't do it. So again, it would depend on what you have. If you've got something really complicated, we'd either have to look at removing some of the detail out of it, or, you know, maybe charging you a little bit more to pay a professional to get it converted. But if you have like this guy, this is his, you know, racing team logo, and he had the vector file for it. So I mean, I just cut that. I don't charge him anything at all for the artwork. Just cut it right out, and it's in multiple layers. Again, this would be for a one-layer deal. If you have something more complicated like a multi-layer deal, we're talking about more money. But as a starting point, if you have a simple design, like, you know, what would be really cool is the Shut Your Face Garage logo. This is cool, and he's got a vector file of it. It's easy to cut, and you know, we could do some standoffs on it, and you know, have a cool flag that you can put in your shop or house, or you know, and wherever you want it, really. So, all right, guys, that's the update here for Monday. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. You guys saw the tapping head video. I tell you, man, I cut all those blocks out for Four Fields Furniture, and when I did about, I don't know, 10 or so of them on that with that combo drill bit and tap before I broke it, and then I did all the rest over here. And when I was done tapping them, I looked in the box and it was empty. I had an intake and an outtake box here, and I was actually bummed. I wanted to tap some more. I mean, this thing, you know, it's just such a breeze. And I was showing Patrick was here yesterday, and I just did a couple in aluminum. That's a 1/4 and gosh, just I mean, it just takes all the hassle out of it, you know. And the tap doesn't slip or spin like trying to do it in a chuck. It's not rigidly mounted like trying to do it in a chuck. So if something, you know, if your hole is out of alignment, or maybe your spindle is out of alignment, or now I did tram all this in before I started on this, so it shouldn't be. But an old machine like this, I kind of have noticed at times it feels like this is cocked in a little bit, and I don't know to get that out of it if I need to do like a shim or something down here. But anyway, all right, guys, just really happy about that. And if anybody needs any drilling and tapping done, I'm your guy. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna get to work here, and I will see you later.